And we've got some more information now about those hostages who are apparently on their way now in Red Cross lorries. Among them are 3 French citizens, 2 German citizens and 2 Argentines. We're not clear about the nationalities of the other hostages. We will bring you more as we have more details. Well, many people will remember the huge outcry on October the 17th, much earlier in the Israel-Hamas war, after an explosion at the Al-Ahli hospital in northern Gaza that led to the death of perhaps hundreds of people, most thought to be civilians. Well, early reports pointed the finger at Israel, saying it had targeted the hospital, a suggestion that Israel denied. And within hours, open source intelligence sources suggested that the attack was more likely to have come from Gaza itself. Now, that conclusion is now backed by Human Rights Watch, which today released a report stating that the explosion was most probably caused by a rocket, in its words, commonly used by Palestinian armed groups. Well, for more on this, I'm now joined on the line from Washington by Eric Goldstein, who is the Deputy Director of the Middle East and North Africa Division of Human Rights Watch. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Goldstein. Israel has responded to this report by saying that your organization took a long time to reach a conclusion that most people around the world had accepted some time ago after the open source intelligences reached the same conclusion. What did take so long?
Well, we're not interested in being first. We're interested in being careful. We compared our findings with the findings of other groups, some of which disagreed with ours, and we wanted to make sure we had a degree of confidence in our findings. We, of course, don't have access to the site, but we had access to many types of information that led us to think it very unlikely that this could have been the type of munitions that Israel is known to use in Gaza, and it looked very much like the damage caused by the types of rockets that Palestinian armed groups use.
Now, can you weren't able in that report to be more precise. You say, as you say, that it is likely to be munitions from the types of rockets that are used by groups, Palestinian armed groups, but you're not able to be more precise. Why is that?
Well, we think that both Israel, Hamas, and Islamic Jihad, who Israel has accused of being responsible for launching this rocket, which apparently misfired. We've called on all of them to provide the evidence that they have and to cooperate with an international investigation so that we can be more confident of where the evidence is pointing now.
There was another discrepancy. How many people died in this explosion? Initially, we were told it was hundreds, and now that figure has been really revised downwards. Do you have a clearer idea of the number of people killed and injured? And what happened there? Why was there such a big difference in the initial figures and the later figures?
Well, we don't have data on the number of people killed. It's clear that there were large numbers of Palestinian civilians sheltering in the courtyard of this hospital, and that's where the munition hit. It hit in the courtyard. There were cars there with fuel. There was a lot of people injured and killed with severe burns caused by explosions and perhaps secondary explosions of the fuel. But the actual number, we don't have a list of names, and we can't say with certainty, but it's clear that scores, if not more, of people were tragically killed.
Now, at least one member of Hamas, Bassem Naim, who's a senior official, says quite simply, we don't believe this Human Rights Watch report. There is a sense in this war that people are choosing to believe what they wish to believe. How does an organization like Human Rights Watch combat that?
Well, you started off by mentioning that the Israeli authorities criticized us for taking too long to reach our findings. Hamas has condemned the findings that we reached, but we just call it as we see it when we reach the level of confidence. It's clear that tragically in this conflict there have been over or close to 200 attacks on medical facilities, according to the WHO. Most of them have been committed by Israel. Hundreds of health workers have been injured, killed doing their jobs. Hospitals have largely been unable to function. The blockade has hindered their ability to get supplies and fuel. So attacks on medical infrastructure are tragic, whoever commits them. There are also Palestinian rockets being fired toward Israel all the time. These are indiscriminate, they target civilians, and as sometimes it's not Israeli civilians who are getting killed and injured by them.
OK, well, we're out of time, I'm afraid, Mr. Goldstein. Eric Goldstein there talking to us from Human Rights Watch, speaking to us on the line there from Washington. Thank you so much to him.